Yes.
Hi everyone, this is DeDe.
And I am Fred. And this is our 36-foot floating home sunshine.
Join us as we go sailing.
Well, good afternoon, people. It's Saturday, May the 27th, 2023. Finally, after 11 days and using about 2/3 of our onboard diesel, we finally got down to about 40 minutes north of the equator, and lo and behold, we started getting the southeast trade winds. So we're now heading more or less directly to the Seychelles, and we're just about ready to cross the equator. If you look closely out there in the water, you'll see the line. We're only a couple of 100 feet away, but we're approaching it at a very acute angle. So it's not like we're approaching it perpendicularly. We're approaching it on about a 20-degree angle. So it'll take a little bit to get across yet. The weather is beautiful. It's finally real trade winds. Got the little puffball clouds out there all over. Winds blowing, maybe 15 knots or a little bit less, from about the south-southeast. So with my reduced mainsail, using the staysail as a mainsail, it's a little difficult to get the boat to point up because I'm also flying the Genoa. And I'm doing that to keep the boat speed up. We're not going very fast. We seem to be fighting a consistent east-setting current of about 1 knot. So that's slowed progress down to about a 3-knot average here. Although beam reaching normally would go faster, but with the much reduced area of the mainsail, I can't get the boat to point up and keep the speed up very well. I could possibly drop the Genoa and go to the Yankee, which wouldn't overpower the staysail as a mainsail. But so far we're doing okay. Course to the Seychelles is about 250. We're maybe making about 240. I'd like to stay below the course line so we've got some room to run off to the north a bit towards the end of the trip. Seychelles, I think about 4.5 degrees south of the equator, so that's somewhat in the range of about 250 miles south. We've got a bit over 700 miles west to go, so it's about a 3-to-1 ratio. Anyway, yeah, I was so happy to see that finally, because I was laying here in the cockpit last night thinking, what the hell are we going to do? I sure don't have enough fuel to power another 800 miles, because the first 800 took up 2/3 of our supply. I was hoping, well, we're going to have enough water to last if we're out here drifting around, not able to make any headway or progress. And I just laid down in the cockpit, kind of tried to sleep a little. I was still running the motor very slowly to keep the boat moving. And there was a very light breeze from the south-southeast. That, coupled with the motor, had us going along pretty well. Early in the morning, that light breeze slowly filled in to, I think when it first really came in, it was probably blowing 20. Boy, was I ecstatic. So we were finally in the southeast trades, almost in the South Indian Ocean. And here momentarily we will be across the equator. And that is Miss DeDe's first time crossing the equator. Unfortunately, I don't have any really big celebratory stuff that we can do here. Didn't, dress up as Neptune, the god of the sea, and come out with my trident and seaweed and do all kinds of silly stuff like that. For me, I don't know. I've been across the equator. This will be, I think, about the 10th time, something like that. So.
Congratulations!
You crossed the equator, dear.
The equator.
Or you will here sometime in the next few minutes. We're really close.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you look out over there to port, that's towards the south.
I am an alien now.
You are an alien. Yes, you're in a strange hemisphere. Or almost in a strange hemisphere. So we finally made it this far. It's still at the speed we're going, unless the wind goes more southeast and gets behind us a bit more. Still looking at maybe 10 days to get to the Seychelles, because we're only making about 3 knots at 75 miles a day, more or less, and we got about 730 or 40 miles to go. Anyway, that's Miss DeDe and Mr. Fred, the intrepid sailors and cruisers, signing off for now. Bye. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning local time. I'm still on GMT +5 on the 1st of June 2023. We're ever so slowly slogging our way towards the Seychelles. We just went under 600 miles in the early hours of today, and a lot of cloud cover around, all different kinds of clouds. Mini squall lines that usually just provide a small increase in wind, often with the wind shift, sometimes in our favor, sometimes not. But off on the western horizon where we were headed, there was rather a large, nasty-looking black squall line. And we just kept heading towards it and eventually ran into it. And the wind is blowing maybe 25 or a little bit more from the west, which of course is our course line. And along with it, we got a pretty good rain shower going on here, which is nice, because it rinses the salt water off the deck in the cabin and out of the cockpit and various things like that. But of course we had to put, for the most part, all the cushions down below. And I'm hiding out here in the corner of the starboard forward corner of the cockpit, trying to stay out of the rain. Not sure what DeDe's doing back there. She may be taking advantage of the rainwater to rinse her hair. Always a problem with long hair on boats when you have to conserve water, as we're doing. We have enough water, we're not going to die of thirst or anything, but there's certainly none extra for bathing at this point in time. We did have a nice little saltwater bath with a freshwater rinse a couple of days ago, but certainly not 2 or 3 times a day. Haven't got the capacity for that. Not sure how long this is going to last. The strange thing here is every once in a while, once or twice or 3 times a day even, run through this very confused, choppy sea. And I never can see any wind with it. So I know the wind must be off on in the distance somewhere. It's creating all these different wave sets, 3, 4, 5 different directions. And I suspect it's from these little passing squall lines. But still underlying all of that, occasionally we're getting, a little bit earlier, I was getting 10-foot swells from the southeast. But still no wind east of south. We've been slogging along. If the wind is from the south, we could just barely hold our course line, because that's as far up into the wind as I could get the boat to point. And for the last, probably since midnight or so, mostly we've been going due west because the wind shifted more like south-southwest instead of south. Anyway, I'm just riding it out here in the rain. The wind, like I said, it's not too bad right now, maybe blowing 20, 25. At first when it came through, it was gusting up a bit more, but that's eased off. Of course, I got no idea how long this is going to last. It could be pretty much over in a couple of more minutes, or it could go on for an hour or two. I don't know. Have no idea what the long-term weather is doing out there. No way to find out. Anyway, that's it for now. Talk to you later.